best shot, and in the process, enjoy life. You know, make your preparations for your graduation. Come and take your pictures. Life goes on. And we are here to ensure that you have that full St. Jago experience that we are all proud of. You know, we are proud of excellence and the greatness that existed and still exists even today. So have a good afternoon and listen keenly. Some others just came in. I'm asking you to reach out to the others and tell them that they should be in this meeting because it's a critical farewell meeting. Thank you, Mrs. Davin.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Price. And I hear Natalie's thing in the chat. Yes, we know some students are still at school and they're in transit. And as a result, that we have started recording the session, so we'll also share afterwards. At this point in time, I just got a message from our guest speaker, it's not like a long speech. He's going to give us a pep talk, but he is having internet difficulties. I tell you this thing in terms of the online state. We are going to skip the pep talk for now and go into the greetings from the block supervisors and form teachers. So we'll start off with the block supervisors for 5th form. I know that Miss Vassal will be speaking on behalf of Miss Usherwood and herself, as Miss Usherwood, you know, is taken up with safety matters as a teacher would be. And so I'll just turn over to Miss Vassal. Go ahead, Miss Vassal.
Good afternoon, everyone, especially to the 5th formers. On the behalf of Miss Usherwood and myself, I want to say to you, well done. Congratulations. And you might be asking, why am I saying well done and congratulations and you have not yet done your exams? But this is the reason. I've watched you from 3rd form. I've been a supervisor from 3rd form. I think Miss Usher will join you in 4th and the 5th form. So I've watched you get into trouble. I've watched you as the successful moments. So we celebrated with you, and here you are, almost at the end of the journey. And I want to say to you again, well done. As you approach your exam, we have all the confidence that you are going to do exceptionally well. We believe God for you for good success because we know that you have been preparing. So whatever it is that 6C will be throwing at you, we know that you are going to come out on top. We believe that the successes are going to be great and we are going to be celebrating with you. And I want to say to you this afternoon, whatever you will be doing when you would have gone from the walls of St. Jago High School, some of you will be going into universities. Some of you will be coming back for 6th form. Some of you will be going into the world of work. Because you are well-rounded, because you are St. Jago, because you're Ravens, we know that you are going to go out there and you are going to shine bright like diamonds. This is a confidence we have in you. God made you special. So I want you to trust him. And I want you to ask God, what is the purpose that he has for you? Because you were created for a purpose and with a purpose. So I want to leave with you the passage of scripture from Mrs. Oshawood and myself from Jeremiah 29. He said, for I know the thoughts I think towards you, said the Lord, right? He wants the thoughts are to prosper you and to give you an expected end. He did not bring you this far to leave you. And therefore, we are believing God with you that you are going to be successful when you will have completed your exams. We are looking forward to celebrate with you. For after the 4 or 3 years in university or the 2 years in sixth form, because we know that you're going to come back and you're going to tell us all the good things so we can continue to celebrate with you. God bless you. And I really enjoyed working with you as your block supervisor. I enjoy the troubles, the many times that I have to talk to some persons, and even for those who are in my class. I am so proud of you. You did well in your SBAs, and I know that you are going to get the grade 1s in CXC. God bless you, and thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Allen.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Waxlow. My goodness, lovely, lovely. And at this time, I am going to read a message that was sent from the form teachers of 5T. I think it would be on the next slide. And as I'm doing that, if there are any other teachers of the fifth form teacher, subject teacher might want to say something. Get ready to say. Whoa, don't know what that was, but get ready to say your little thing. Nothing long, as I said, it would be just something, just a little greeting to the students. So this is the message from Miss Danette Johnson and the form teacher, Mrs. Nadine Henry. And it goes as such. To our beautiful, hardworking, and tenacious students of 5T, oh, how we love you all. You have all impacted our lives greatly, and for that, we say a big thank you. Now it's time for you to take your lives to another level, and so we wish for you all the best. Just know that life is a journey with its ups and downs, its highs and its lows, and there are many mistakes and lessons to be learned along the way. I implore all of you to learn these lessons well. Be good citizens, be bold, be courageous, be your absolute best, and remember, whatever you do, put God first. Lots of love from your form teachers, Miss Johnson and Mrs. Henry. So beautiful. Thank you so much. And at this point in time, before we go to the sixth form, I just want to open up the mic to any of the fifth form teachers or a subject teacher. If you're so moved, you just want to big up a class or big up the fifth form, please go ahead. This is your opportunity. I'll do a 5-second countdown. Going once, twice. No one. Of the fifth form teachers, anyone would like to say anything else?
Mrs. Allen, I have said it all on the screen there. Right.
That's Miss Johnson.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Form 5T, great. Thank you so much.
All right. Anybody else?
Mrs. Darling?
Go ahead.
Well, you said teachers, but
yes, miss. You know what I mean, miss. Go ahead. Or guidance counselor,
Okay.
Mrs. Gail Samuels. How could I forget the guidance counselors? Go ahead, miss.
Well, we work behind the scenes most of the time. But it certainly was a privilege working with all the students. We wouldn't have been um, we wouldn't have been guidance counselors without you there to assist you through your issues, through your success, through your ups and downs. It certainly was a privilege being part of your life, being able to get the opportunity to mold and to instruct. And we know that the challenges that we face only came to make us stronger. And I know that as ravens, I know that as students of St. Jacob, you are resilient and you are all the things that we hold dear as a family of St. Jacob. I know that you will all go out, move to the next level, and make us proud. You have been well trained and you're well rounded. And I have every confidence that you are going to make us proud. We're going to be seeing icons and stars and, in various forms throughout the island and internationally. So this was just a training ground, and we are letting you loose like doves to just go out there and fly and soar high and make us proud. And I look forward to that. And it was a pleasure working with you. On behalf of the guidance department, we wish you all the best and Godspeed.
All right.
Thank
Mrs.
you
Dallin?
so much. Yes, who is that now?
This is Akeem, not a teacher, but I just wanted to say to the fifth formers definitely that I know that this is a very challenging time because when I was in fifth form, I all I had to worry about was actually just getting the exam done in May. You have an extra hurdles to overcome, but the reality is that you're all still here, and it's really awesome that regardless, you guys are still like hopeful, still going above and beyond, going to school, doing your schoolwork, even though you're stressing about French and you're stressing about IT and chemistry, not finishing this, not doing that in time, that the fact that you're doing it means that you're really awesome and you're going to be remarkable. Just look back 10 years from now, like all the struggles, like just put yourself back to GSAT when you were actually just pissed off with everything, just wanted to get it over with. Now it's just an additional GSAT where every minute they just continue telling you something different and you're just continuously getting frustrated. But I really love that you're all, especially the fifth formers, going above and beyond. I see you here today in your uniform or you're online doing work. Just, I'll say keep it up. And I definitely know that you all will do well. Like, regardless of whatever CXC coming with or anybody else, you're still going to do well. Though you may be pissed now, you may be tired, drained, all of the above. The fact that you're all still here, yes, Demarley, I appreciate that you're all just pushing through. It's not going unnoticed, and I just want to say don't ever stop because y'all are champions, y'all are Senjay guys, y'all are number one. Big up on yourself.
Thank you so much. Was that Akeem Pollack, our head boy?
Yes, Mrs. Dallin.
Boy, Akeem, you sound different, man. Lovely. So thank you so much, Akeem, for that. So we're going now to the sixth form. I don't know if any of our sixth form block supervisors or the dean of sixth form would want to say something to our sixth form. I know that two of the form teachers sent something that we will read right after, but before that, the block supervisors or dean of sixth form, if you would want to say something to the sixth form, to the students in general, you can go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Dallin, as the chair of this afternoon's function. Good afternoon to the members of staff who are present. Good afternoon to the honored guests. Those are the exam students. It has been a very trying time for all of you, fifth and sixth form together. You have been tested more than any other group of students have ever been tested. You have risen to that test because you have endured to this point. And I know that having come this far, you are not going to stop. But fifth formers, you will understand when I focus on my sixth formers at this time. And I say to you, sixth formers, I am very proud of every single one of you. Because despite the odds, you have done well. The 6B students who will not be returning, you endured CXC in a different fashion last year. Different because it was the first, it was coming in that format. And you embraced your 6B year with the challenges. You didn't expect it to be this hard, this rough, but you embraced it. You were excited, you were thrilled to be in sixth form. It wasn't the way you thought it would have been, because I'm sure some of you did not get the opportunity to wear that tie. But to know that you were a part of the sixth form body, it meant something to you, so much so that it gave you that strength. It gave you that purpose to work, to achieve. For the students who are in 6A moving on, this season, that we have been going through, it brought out the leaders in you. Because you didn't get that opportunity to lead the school as others have done, leading in a visible way. We could see you on the ground, but it didn't mean that you didn't work as leaders. All the functions that we had were led by mainly sixth formers. The way you worked together and got your pairs together, the way you did your duties as prefects, both 6A and the 6B students, it showed your resilience. It showed how much you embodied the words of your school song, which speaks to facing the task that you have before you, working hand in hand, to follow those who led, your founders, those who set the path for you to follow. You have indeed followed in their footsteps, and you will indeed do as they have done. You will achieve. You have achieved. And as the other teachers have said before me, you will continue to achieve because you have realized the greatness in you. I encourage you to embrace who you are, who you have found yourself to be, and to continue to grow, to bloom, because you are meant to be so much more. Congratulations on coming this far, and all the best as you continue on your journey. Mrs. Dallin.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Castle. At this point in time, we're gonna break and ask our guest speaker to make his presentation now. But before we do that, I just want to share who is the person who is sharing with us. You know, internet and technology, I tell you, it's a struggle. So our guest speaker for this evening is someone who is known to the St. Jago family, Mr. Andre Simpson. He is a teacher of art, music. He's an entrepreneur. He is a musician. He's an artist, master of ceremonies, motivational speaker, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And so we have invited him back to St. Jago because he was with us for a while and he went off to do his own thing, and he came back for a little while last year and went off again. And so we have invited him to just share with us, to motivate us, to inspire us. Welcome back to St. Jago, Mr. Simpson. Over to you.
All right, Mrs. Dallin. So I think we're just working on getting him up. So I think you can just go back to the encouragement for a little bit.
Okay, he's still having technical issues. Okay, it's one of those things. So at this point in time, I will just read the message from Miss Parker Reed and Miss Grant. Message to the 6A. And you're right. So I'll just read the message from Miss Parker Reed and Miss Grant. Message to the 6A.
Yes, Miss, you're not seeing it?
Yeah, I'm seeing it. Just a moment. To our future movers, shakers, and life changers, we never know what the future holds, but we can have faith in our potential. While you grapple with the rapid changes and uncertainties you will face, have faith in God and trust yourself to be strong enough, wise enough, and blessed beyond measure to face and conquer any and everything. I got a gift a while ago, a pretty piece of paper with a note on it. I kept the paper and forgot the note until one day when I was at my lowest. I came upon the paper and read the words again. The words became a blessing and provided the motivation I needed to keep going, keep striving. I hope you remember these words I now gift to you. I was waiting for something extraordinary to happen, but as the years wasted on, nothing ever did until I caused it to. Charles Bukowski. Do not simply wait for your life to happen, but take the reins and use your God-given genius to make it happen for you. From Miss Grant and Miss Parker Reed to the 6A students. At this point in time, I'm going to ask any teachers of the sixth form if they want to give a shout out, if they want to encourage the students. This is the opportunity. And I saw some messages in the chat. I'm going to ask Hakeem if he can to read some of them. I see one from Miss Morgan Brown, and I also see one from Miss Claire Senior. Yes, go ahead. Oh, is that Mr. Tucker?
Right, speaking, yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, I just want to say, pleasant afternoon to my colleagues here, the parents, the students who are in. And as you have said before, normally we would have had this session, a farewell session in an environment where, we can greet and meet and, it would have been a session where, some amount of joy as well as some amount of sadness joy in the context that, you know, people are happy, students would have been happy to go off. They would have spent their 2 years. They would have spent their 2 years or their 1 year at school. But sad in the sense that, you know, people are going to be missing each other and so forth. So usually that blend of atmosphere is there. But what I want to say this afternoon is that I will just join in this farewell ceremony to wish, this is really to the sixth form students, 6A and those of 6B students will be going off, you know, to wish you all the luck and, you know, the possibilities that are there going into a study break, to prepare for your exams. And even though we know it is not going to be, you know, a break or a study period with, you know, it is going to be a period with some amount of cloudiness in terms of the uncertainties that we would have experienced and uncertainties that we expect lying ahead of us. It has been a challenging 2 years, I would say, for the upper sixth form students. And in the context that, you know, for the last 1.5 years or somewhere near there, it has been a period of challenge. Students, 6A students, and well, all the students, but students were put to the test. You know, it was a test of how strong they are. And, you know, it was a no ordinary period of time. And of course, because some students great distress. I mean, you know, it was in total distress on the educational system. But, you know, as you were thrown in the deep, it was a test of whether or not you can swim. And you had to swim to survive. And we saw that based on, you know, whatever was happening. And what was done or what will be done in the next 3 weeks or so will determine, you know, how well you have prepared yourselves in this, to face the exam challenges. And I must also say that despite these challenges, I would like to say that, you know, the school in general, through the principal, the vice principals led by Mrs. Stalin there, the dean of the sixth form block of supervisors and your form teachers, you know, has provided tremendous support to you. We know that some of your fellow classmates, you know, were not able to hold strong mentally and otherwise and gave up, but you held out to this point. Also, we know that this is not the end of it, but this too shall pass. And if we are to think about the predictions of the experts, you know, along with the vaccine factors, then we can be more hopeful going forward. It's just a pity that you have to be facing this, you know, at this time of your educational career and otherwise. But knowing that the entire world is facing this, you know, you can take great challenge, or you can look at it from the standpoint that everybody facing this, and therefore you are no different in facing this. So after all is really said, after all that has been done, we regret not getting the chance to be at school, you know, with you physically for your second year, but this is how uncertain life can be. So I will take this opportunity also to say kudos to those persons, to everyone who provided the support. Thanks for the resilience, the commitment that you have shown. And of course, you have paved the way for other students who are coming in. This wasn't any normal time. And of course, you shown that you can do it. It's so like my colleagues, students, I say farewell with heart full of wishes, hoping that you will prevail and do well under the circumstances. So again, I am saying thanks to all of those persons who helped, from the parents, the head students, those student volunteers, ancillary, everybody from the San Diego environment who have chipped in to ensure that you weren't just swimming alone. There were support provided for you. So from the principal down to the VPs, the supervisors, the guidance counselors, I must say, the form teachers. I know some of the form teachers at times, especially in the mornings, to ask people to do this type of activity. In this time, it was some amount of effort being shown. So on behalf of all of those persons, I say you go, and I am not going to say enjoy, knowing that the amount of work that there is for you to do. I am going to say walk good, and of course we will meet sometime. So this is not the end of it. St. Diego will still be there, but you are just another set of those persons who have walked through this institution. Farewell to you, students. Mrs. Allen.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tucker. So at this time, in true St. Diego, well, I don't even know what to say. Maybe it's a good thing my mic is not, my video is not on. We have been having some technical issues, and in true St. Diego style, we were trying to troubleshoot, and I don't know if it's going to work, but I have our guest speaker on speaker phone on WhatsApp, because it's just not working out any other way. So at this point in time, I am going to turn over to our guest speaker, Mr. Andre Simpson, and he will be giving his pep talk. Go ahead, Mr. Simpson.
Hi, good afternoon, one and all. Good afternoon, teachers. Good afternoon, students. Now, let me tell you, when life give you what? Lime, you make what? Limeade. And when it give you lemon, you make lemonade, right? Everybody hearing me?
Yes, sir, we're hearing.
Great. So the audience, I was asked to give you guys a pep talk, but I'm gonna give you one of them reasoning them. I'll give you one of them. So it's pardon the broken English, can be just like a reason with everybody. Yeah, just like how I talk to my brother, my sister, I'm gonna give you one of them big people reasoning. Now, first thing I want to talk to you about is staying focused. All right? Don't look to the right, don't look to the left. I know there's a world waiting out there for you. A lot of you are anxious. And then COVID added to all that we are going through already. You're thinking about exams and the result. Some of you guys wondering what you're going to be doing after you leave school. What are you going to be doing? All of that is on the table. But what I want in all of this, for you to stay focused. I know some of you made some scribbles and you made some points and you make some jottings of what you want to be and what you want to do. And honestly, there are some of us that we're not really sure yet, but we just are going all the time. A lot of us even say, all right, I'm going to go sixth form because we're still not sure what we want to do as yet. But my encouragement to you is stay focused. Do a deep self-searching ask yourself, what is it? You know, God always give us some hints, you know, and he gives everybody talents. And, you know, don't ignore your natural ability and your natural ability to get stuff done and to do stuff. You know, that might be the area that you need to lead to. For some of us, you know, we are looking at the Joneses, and hopefully nobody in here named Jones, but we're looking at the Joneses and we're looking left and we're looking right and we're looking at what everybody else is doing. But I just want to say to you, stay in your lane until it's time to cross over into the other lane. Just focus on you. Just get to know you, get to know what you want. You know, continue working hard at what you're doing. And then another thing I want to say to you real quick is that opportunities are always knocking. Opportunities are always knocking. And they come sometimes in the weirdest forms and the weirdest ways. I mean, I had the privilege of working with a prominent radio station as a production manager at a radio station after taking a break from the classroom. And I got that job through a discussion because I saw somebody wearing a branded shirt. So think about this now. Opportunity will present itself everywhere and anywhere. Just pay attention. I was in a shorts, wearing a Crocs and a little t-shirt, but guess what? The opportunity was there. So some of the time you just have to open your mouth. Sometimes you just don't watch what you look like at the time. And all I had in my little basket was 2 tuna mackerel and some rice and some flour. You know, some people say, Lord, I'm not going to talk to nobody with that. But guess what? I got the job as the production manager. That's not the job I wanted. That's not the job I wanted. I wanted a job to be a host or a presenter, but I got something higher than what I wanted. So the point I'm making is stay focused. You know, it's a job I enjoyed so till. I mean, I was always, you know, wanted to work on radio and work in, you know, and even when I was at St. Diego teaching for about 4 years, I was always emceeing and all of that. And I said, listen, one day this radio opportunity is going to come. And yes, it did. So even though I was a teacher for like about 14, 15 years, I had passions and I had goals, like maybe I would say in the back burner, but guess what? Opportunities are always knocking. And I'm going to say to you, don't ignore your natural talent, because a man's gift make it room for him and bringeth him before great men. So what will happen to you is you have some little talent and you put them on the back burner, and sometimes you're in the bathroom and you're singing and you just think says nothing, and you might find your hands making stuff and drawing stuff and doing stuff and organizing, and you just think that it is nothing. But guess what? Those are hints. Those are hints as to where you should go. Now, most persons know me from, most of the teachers would know me as an art teacher. How this started, I used to mark up my parents' wall with crayons and stuff, just mark up the wall. And they saw it and said, listen, can't manage this. They gave me a drawing book, and from a drawing book, that became a passion, and then that developed into, you know, just even in class, at primary school, at basic school, I was always drawing in the books, and teacher would slap me in my hand, and, you know, my teachers would complain to my parents, I'm always drawing. But guess what? This is how you recognize your talent. These little things that... Yes, my point is, follow the breadcrumbs, follow the hints. All right? Embrace all the gifts. Don't put any to the side, don't put any to the back. You know? Yeah, life is always keeping, so keep learning. And final thing, make a vision board. Use your door, stick up some papers on your door, places you want to go, people you want to meet, places you want to study, see yourself. Put a picture of you and placing yourself at the UA camp, on the UA campus, something. Just do that. Just see yourself. It starts with a vision. And years ago, I learned that when you write down what you want to be and what you want to do, you actually fulfill about 50% of where you want to go. So my words to you is write down the vision and make it plain, and just keep following your dreams. I mean, don't watch anybody. Not because this sounds good, that's why you want to do it. You have to have a passion for it. And normally you have a hint. They always get the hint. Follow the trail of breadcrumbs. It will lead you to sure success. And I can tell you, biggest thing I'll tell you is wear your own brand, be your own brand. A lot of us won't even work a day for somebody after leaving high school, but you'll be your business owners and your business people. But some of the time we get comfortable in trying to get a paycheck, you know. But all I'll say to you in closing, just have a vision and just run with it. Thank you so much for having me, and just be focused, you know. Pay attention to the opportunities. Don't ignore the natural talent that you have. Embrace all your gifts. Life is always teaching. Keep learning, and just, you know, go home and make a vision. Well, you're already home. Make a vision board. Turn the door into a vision board. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Simpson. Thank you so much for those words. At this point in time, we will have an item from Mr. Halliburton. I am hoping he's here. Mr. Halliburton, are you here? Mr. Halliburton, not hearing him, so we're going to move on very quickly to our next item, which is the CXC update. Wow, CXC update.
Mrs. Dallin?
Yes, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Edward.
I want performance before.
Yes, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Updates, 5th and 6th form.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
5th form, 6th form students of San Diego. Right, sorry, well, 5th form, 6th form students of San Diego. It is good to see so many of you here. I know there are some persons here that more than we realize, but I just want to say be encouraged. A lot of you don't think of yourself as leaders. You're always thinking about the other person. But what you have been doing, it's just awesome. I mean, you're still pushing through. You are coming here, you're tired, you're frustrated, you're annoyed, you have backlogs of work. You get up every morning, you get ready, you don't want to because you want to stay in your bed, but you put on that uniform, you come down here and you do the work. And I mean, I can tell you, it counts for a lot. It speaks to your experiences and what you've been through. And that is what tells us that you are ready. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what CXC says. We're all annoyed at the things that we have heard or will hear throughout the course of the day about our exams. And we just want to get it over with, all of us. But I can tell you, just be heartened. Know that we're there with you. We are supporting you. We are always, and we're just expecting the best, not to pressure you, but because we know that you are ready to do. We've been working, we've seen, and we know what we're looking at. We're looking at gold. We're looking at gold in the making, soon to be diamonds in the making. So don't worry about it and just take a break, chill, go get some sparkling water and drink. Those of you our age can have something a little bit stronger, only if you're of age and your parents will allow it. But just take a break and enjoy yourself, and then just get back there, get back in the frame of mind, and continue to be the awesome person.
Sir, I don't know. I'm not hearing. I didn't hear the last part when you said thank you. I'm hoping. Can you hear me? But I'm not hearing you. All right, I'll go ahead though. Good afternoon again. So I am going to pick up from what Mr. Simpson had said about keeping focused. We would have heard from CXC today concerning the change in dates. So let me just start there, and let me just say that at this point in time, we will await an official update from CXC concerning the changes to the timetable. So I know that you would all have your timetables by now. I know some persons didn't collect their timetable from the front desk, but I am going to still encourage students who have not yet picked up their timetable to do so, because the timetable has important information on it. The timetable has your candidate number. So you need to ensure that you have that timetable and just secure it. I had already sent out an email concerning how you secure the timetables. I am assuming that at some point we will get an updated timetable from CXC, and whatever we get from them, we will be sharing with you in terms of the timetable. What is important now is you have to keep focused. You have to check the dates for your exams. You have to pay attention to the emails that we will be sending out. Those of you who had clashes on the this timetable that you're looking at, I addressed the issue of clashes. I'm going to address it again. If you have a clash on your timetable, remember that you will have to sit both exams on the same day. What will happen is that the examination supervisor will give you instructions about which exam you do first, and then you get a little break, and then you do the other exam. And I've advised students that if it's a morning clash, make sure you eat a solid breakfast and you take a snack with you to school, because you will have to do one exam, then break, then do the other. If it is an afternoon clash, you need to make sure that you take a little snack with you. It would be best to take lunch with you, because you will do one exam, then you will be isolated to do the second exam. And so it's going to be a bit tedious for you, but it can be done. We have discussed it before. We have done it before. It's not the first time. Don't get overly excited about it. So the clash is not an issue. IDs. Everyone needs an ID for CXC. We had ID sessions last week for the 6B students. If you missed that session, then you will need to, you can get a passport-sized picture and leave it at the front office. I've advised students who may have misplaced their IDs, fifth formers and 6A students, to do so. Leave the picture in an envelope with your name on the envelope at the front office. If you leave the picture by itself like that without any information, we can't help you. So you need to make sure if you're going to, if you need some form of identification, get the passport-sized picture. You leave it at the front office in an envelope with your name on it. We will verify. You can pick up that picture, the verified picture, by next week, Monday. I would assume that you're going to leave that picture though sometime this week, because the deadline I gave for that was the 17th of May. On top of that, we would like to do some CXC prep sessions. So that will happen next week, Monday. When you come in for your classes on Monday, we will just do a dry run of how you should position yourself when you are in the examination room, some of the rules. At some point, we will be introduced to our exam supervisor. And last year we had to have a virtual meeting with that person. This year we might have to do the same. So please look out for that email. That is an important meeting because the exam supervisor is the person who runs the exams for CXC. And so it is not St. Jago High School running an exam. It is somebody from the outside. There are particular rules and guidelines, and this person who is selected will be sharing the information with us as school. So when you get that email from me to say that we're having a meeting with the exam supervisor, please make sure you are at that meeting. It will be a virtual meeting because I don't foresee any kind of face-to-face in terms of large gatherings. Also, there will be some virtual engagements as we continue. Our final face-to-face class will be next week, Monday, that is the 31st, basically. And then we have classes for the 5th formers for the accelerated group for next week, Tuesday, and next week, Wednesday. So basically, the final day for face-to-face will be June 2nd. After that, as the need arises, your teachers will engage you online and if needs be for face-to-face. So your teachers will be in communication with you based on the need for any additional classes. So you need to make sure that you are checking your email, checking the class WhatsApp groups, those kind of things. The other thing too is that any other information that we get concerning CXC, we will be passing on to you via email and other social media platforms. So that's basically it from me in terms of CXC. As I said before, you just need to keep focused. We are going to get through this. We have had these challenges and we have gotten students through. Last year you saw our results, so we will get you through. So just work with us. I'll turn over to Mrs. James Barnett for graduation update.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here. I'm actually in a quiet place at the pharmacy, miss. And while I was at the doctor said to me, I'm going to write down that you are in a meeting and you are not focusing on what I'm telling you. Good afternoon, everyone. And I want to congratulate the 5th and 6th formers for reaching thus far. And I know with God's help, He will take you through safely, ensuring that you have to ensure that you do your part though in studying and working hard. Continue pushing. You have a little more time, make use of it. And I'm sure that with that and God's help, you will be successful. Now, as Miss says, I'm here to update you on graduation. The first thing I'm going to tell you is when is graduation? Now, we have graduation planned for the 25th of July. So that's Sunday, the 25th of July. And we are still keeping that date. All right. Next week, though, we will be having our photo shoot. They will start next week. So you would have gotten information with regards to that. So we're starting off on the 31st, and we're expecting you to be on time. And so the period for the photo will be from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, when you come, you're actually going to be paying before you take your photo. So you'd pay $3,500, and this amount of money will cover the photo as well as the gown. Now, because of the COVID situation, we cannot do as we did in the past, just have a selected number of gowns, maybe like 50 gowns, and then persons reuse them. We cannot do that. So basically, you own your gown in a sense after you would have taken your photo, and after you fitted the gown that best suit you, and the letter tells you how you're to do the measurement for the gown. So you're not gonna be coming and trying on gown. We can't do that because of the COVID situation. So you're gonna come in, select the gown based on your measurement, and then take your photo. And we'll be labeling those gowns for graduation. So the same gown that you try on for the photo, it's the same gown that you're gonna be using at graduation. If you won't be graduating, then we will put aside that gown to be cleaned. So the fact is that whether or not you're graduating, we have to pay to clean the gowns. And so you will have to cover that cost when you come to take the pictures in the gown. So that begins next week, the 31st of May, and it goes through to the 9th of May. Now, I know that some students came to me today regarding an exam that they have on the day of their photograph. I commend them for that, because at least we are able to plan based on that. So they have foods practical when they are scheduled to do the photos. So we made an arrangement for them to do the photos at another day. So that's the cost of the photos. The overall cost, including the photos for graduation, is $12,500. If we're doing the graduation face-to-face, and if we're doing it online, it's gonna be $7,000, because you still have to pay for certain things. For instance, the graduation certificate. We are also planning on giving you some tokens and all of that. So that is calculated in the fee. But the fee that you really need to focus on for next week is the $3,500, which would cover the photos and the gown. Now, rehearsals will take place in July as well, from the 20th to the 21st. So this is based on government guidelines. So everything we do will be based on government guidelines. The deadline for payment of all fees for graduation will be the rest of the fee, that is, because you'll be paying $3,500 come next week. So I think $9,000 will be left to be paid by the 29th of June. All right, so we're hoping that all goes well. We are keeping that date and praying that the protocols remain where we are still able to gather in small numbers outside. If anything, we are hoping for bigger numbers to be able to gather. So that's the information about graduation. You have to keep a close eye on your emails, because that's where we'll be communicating with you to ensure that you know what is going on, when it's going on, and so on. So even if you don't remember anything at all, remember to check the email to ensure you know which day you're supposed to be coming in to do your photo. Thank you very much, and all the very best to you, students. Don't take this as a holiday before exams. Take a little break, maybe about 2 or 3 days break, and just relax, and then pick up the books again. You really need to do that, okay? all the very best. And that's from me, Mrs. Darlene.
Thank you so much, Mrs. James Barnett. At this point in time, we're gonna go into question and answer. Question and answer. So we are going to, all right, what we're gonna do, because I know there may be persons with various questions. All right, let's start with the question and answer, and then we have 10 minutes for question and answer. Then we go into our final thing, which is our blessing. And then after the blessing, if there are persons who still have questions, we will take those after. So let's begin question and answer. Any questions on anything that has been said or anything that is not clear? Go ahead, please, in the chat, or you can open your mic and ask the question. What's included in the graduation package? Miss James Barnett, could you go into that some more in terms of the graduation package?
Okay, Miss. Let me just find my page. Hold on. Have my book with me. Okay, so what is included? What are you paying for? You're paying for the canister. You're paying for the certificate. You're paying for the photo shoot, the corsage. Plus, remember that you contribute towards the floral arrangements and decor. Right? You also you have to pay for the gown. Right? This year we plan to give you souvenirs. 2 of them, which would include a mask, and that mask will have the logo on it. That mask will have class. I know that you must have seen the other students with the mask, right? The mask will have class of 2021 and so on and so forth on it. You're paying for the photos, as I said before. We make a contribution to the cathedral. We have persons who are working that we have to pay them for that. And of course, we have to pay the tech team for the work that they will be doing. So basically what we do, Miss, is not to make a profit. What we do is basically breaking even. So we look at the cost. We calculate the cost of everything based on last year's cost, hoping that they will charge the same thing. We were able to call some persons. Yes, we were able to call some persons and beg them not to increase the prices so much because of the whole COVID. We keep using COVID. So we're able to make calls, find out what the real costs are, and try to keep it as low as possible, because graduation is not a money-making thing. You actually, it's a break-even thing where you pay for what is done on the day and those things that you will receive as well.
Okay, I am seeing someone saying in the chat if it is face-to-face, but what I'm gonna say is that depending on what happens in terms of the government, Mrs. James Barnett mentioned it. We have to go with what the government says. And last year, what happened to us is that we had a plan to use our grounds here at St. Jago. Then we had rain, which kind of put a damper on things. And so we ended up at the cathedral and we had to have 4 separate ceremonies, one behind the other, based on the numbers. And so we have to wait to see what the government is saying before we can say whether or not it will be face-to-face. And so we will be sending out, as Mrs. James Barnett said, we will be sending out information which will describe in detail what is the expectation. And last year we had to limit the number. I think last year when we did face-to-face, it was 1 parent, Miss James Barnett?
what we did last year, just let me back up a little bit, miss. We have two plans for this year. We have one plan that is for face-to-face, and that plan is the one that will cost overall $12,500, right? And the other plan now is the plan that will cost $7,000, which is if we're not going face-to-face. Because even if we're not going face-to-face, there are certain things that you will have to receive that will cost, right? What was the question, miss? I hope this doesn't happen to a student in the exam.
No, Miss, you answered the question. And so, as I was saying to the parent, we will give the instructions. I think last year we had outlined serious specifics in terms of how we would operate. So it is therefore important that you check your emails.
No, miss, I just remember the question.
Yes.
Both of us would fail the exam. The question is, it was about the parent that last year, okay, for the cathedral, the numbers are limited, and even for the government protocols, the numbers are limited. So what we did last year is that one parent, both parents could come, or your family could come, small size family that is, but both parents could come, but only one could go in the
church for the ceremony.
For the ceremony. The others now, after you leave that section, you have a time for photos. And so those persons now can go in and take the photo with you. So we say mom, dad, brother, sister, close, that kind of close relative, not auntie, sister, uncle, friend. We cannot accommodate that because of the protocols.
Okay, miss, very good. Any other questions?
Mrs. Darlene, I saw one in the chat about graduation dinner. You addressed that already?
Graduation dinner?
Yeah, they're asking if there'll be graduation dinner.
What? Oh my gosh. Oh my, I don't know what to say there, but I don't think so, which is sad. We would all love that. We would all love to have a ball or something, but we have to be realistic. That is not going to happen because it just can't work based on COVID guidelines. And remember, everything we're doing has to be to ensure that we protect students, staff members, and we obey the disaster management. Gosh, I can't remember the name of the thing, but we obey the protocols as outlined by the government, the Disaster Risk Management Act. We have to be covered by it. So that, I think that's a no-no. Next question.
All right, so I'm not seeing any other one. Another one. I'm not seeing any in the chat.
Anybody want to open their mic and ask a question? Okay, then, so we're gonna stop here. And oh, wait.
All right, miss, none on YouTube.
Thompson,
yeah.
Just read the email and you will see what it says. And so that's what we're going with. You know already what is acceptable. And I always say to people, remember, if you have to be asking, that means that whatever you're asking about is probably wrong. You know what is acceptable for St. Jago in terms of our standards. So please keep within the standards. And as the email has said, there is a criteria for the graduation, and there is a criteria for the pictures that will be taken. We have a particular standard, and that is how. In terms of the list to be posted, those who are eligible to graduate, we are still sorting that out. Normally, our criteria is the submission of all SBAs, attendance to classes, good class behavior. So we are looking at that. So, and we know that we have some students who they have no issue and they have just not been attending classes. And so we can't in good conscience present anyone who doesn't meet the criteria. So that also will be sent out with, in terms of the instructions for graduation. We give specific instructions that will be sent out. So those are usually the basic criteria: the submission of all SBAs, the attendance to classes, and other instructions concerning graduation will be sent out. All right, so we're gonna pause here, and I'm going to ask Mrs. Tape to say the closing prayer.
Wait, Mrs. Darlene,
Yes,
right before,
Akeem.
Joanna is asking about if the money for graduation is to be paid at the school's office, but I'm assuming that
the money for graduation, we are going to send out that information. Right now, we are focusing on the picture, the taking of the graduation pictures. And so that money is normally on the day when the students, on the day assigned for students, there are persons who will be assigned to collect the money, and also the instructions concerning that will be sent out. So they just need the students who are interested in taking the graduation picture. You just need to make sure that you are there on the day with the money, so that it can be, the process will be smooth. And we don't do anything on credit, because as Mrs. James Barnett says, the persons who are giving us the service, taking the pictures, all of that, they have to be paid. So you need to make sure, if you are interested in taking the graduation picture, you need to make sure you have the money in hand on the day and you are properly groomed on the day. Okay? Okay, so at this point in time, I'm gonna ask Mrs. Tape, our school chaplain, to say the prayer and blessing for our students and the parents of the exam group. Mrs. Tape.
Good afternoon, everyone. So before I pray, I just want to first of all wish all exam students the very best for their examinations. And I also want to say that I've worked with quite a few of them on the e-devotion team since March 2020. And I just want to say that they have been very committed and resilient. And it has been great working with those who are leaving, because I know some are remaining because they're in 6B, right? And we have some fifth formers who will also be returning. So I just want to say, well done, and just keep going and keep doing your best as you have been doing. So the Lord be with you. Let us pray. God of goodness and love, in whom we can trust in every hour of need, come to us, dear Lord, and grant us your peace in these uncertain times. Come to us, Lord, when our faith is weak and we find it hard to pray. Come to us, Lord, and let the light of your presence dispel any fears and anxieties that the exam students, parents, and guardians and teachers may be facing at this time. We give thanks, Lord, for those who are able to be here and to participate. For those who are not able to be here, grant them your peace and encouragement to continue the journey. Lord, we ask for a renewing of our trust in you, in spite of the seemingly unending pandemic. And we ask that you fill our hearts and our minds with hope for a better tomorrow and a brighter future. Lord, give them the determination to achieve success and greatness amidst the uncertainties of life. Come to us, dear Lord, and give the students focus, good health and strength, so that they can declare that I can do all things through him who strengthens me. In the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Amen. And we close with the Lord's Prayer. Let us pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Tape. Wonderful prayer. Wonderful. Okay, at this point in time, if there are no other questions, please remember, if you have any concerns, you can send us an email. We will try to respond. As was said before, the guidance department, you can send the emails there. You'll be hearing from us because we're still providing support. And I just want to leave you with this song so that you remember that we are going to get there. Everything is going to work out. We'll get there together. So have a good evening, and thank you for participating in this meeting.
I've been wandering around in the dark, been lost somewhere with no light could shine on my heart. I've known a pain so deep, but I know my faith will free me, and I'll get through this. I'll find my way again. So don't tell me that it's over, 'cause each step just gets me closer. I will get there. I will get there. I will get there. I will get there somehow. Cross that river. Cross that river. Nothing's stopping me